a nature person, so trees in general, to me, there could be a lot more, if I had my way. Especially with my 2 dogs. That whole backyard is shaded, so they love it.
We just had an extension on Walton Road, and they've made it so beautiful with the trees in the center.
The tree is like being in a tree world because there's tree all over the place.
Some are tall and beautiful, and some are short with knobby knees. Like humans, trees have their own unique qualities and personalities. But one thing they all have in common is their tremendous workload. From the tips of their leaves to deep down in their roots, trees are always busy. While leaves are producing much needed shade in community spaces, they are also absorbing carbon dioxide and giving off oxygen. Not only do they increase property values, trees also help reduce household heating and cooling costs by 8 to 12% annually, just by being themselves. They soften and screen landscape and provide habitat for wildlife. As Port St. Lucie grows, protecting its urban forest becomes increasingly more important in providing residents and businesses with the economic, environmental, and aesthetic benefits. The tree ordinance, and it's really a tree protection ordinance, it's part of the city's landscape code. Really the intent and the purpose and the legislative reasoning and justification behind it was ultimately to preserve the trees within the city. Currently the city only has a 24% tree canopy. Our goal is to have a 40% tree canopy. If you actually start looking at where the tree canopy is in the city, the majority of it actually is in the citrus groves in the southwest section of the city, which is ultimately slated for development. So it's very important that we started to work on preserving and creating more tree canopy within the city, specifically the older parts. The tree protection ordinance is a benefit to all residents of the city, but the folks who need to pay special attention to it are those who own or are developing non-residential land. So if someone's wanting to come in and build a strip center, they're going to have to actually go out onto their property and identify the trees that have a DBH of 12 inches or greater. And once they do that, city staff will actually go out there, verify that that information is correct, and then try to work with the property owner to see what can be preserved, and some of it sometimes has to be mitigated or relocated on site. For the regular single-family residential home owners, this is an ordinance that won't impact them, but hopefully will benefit them.
You got a room here.
And other ways that the cities try to assist them is to provide the annual tree giveaway program as well as the wholesale program.
Thank you.
I think it's very important as residents of the city of Port St. Lucie that we all do our part to maintain the quality of life in the city. And we have the trees right behind me that are doing their part, and if we can help protect them and keep them healthy, I think we're all doing an excellent job. I'd just like to thank those who've actually participated so far, and keep up the good work, and anyone who hasn't, take on the challenge.
It's a laurel oak in a natural area that was covered in vine, and what we've done is come in and removed all the lower vines so we could get to the structure of the tree to properly prune and thin the interior. It's very good for allowing sun and wind to pass through the canopy of the tree, which both are very important, especially in a storm situation. You want the wind to pass through the tree and not push against it. The other important thing we did was to make sure that the interior of this tree is clear of vines, dead wood, cross-rubbing limbs. What we're looking at is some limbs that have grown together, and this is called included bark. And it's very dangerous when a tree gets big because you'll think that's a good joining or junction, and it's not. It's very susceptible to breaking in high winds. So we're going to remove this at this point, and then we have another large one here you could see is almost a foot long, 1.5 foot long. We're going to remove here and then cut it back here, and then this stem will remain dominant. So we took a little more off than we normally would with this type of prune, but it's really going to help the structure of the tree in the long run. So we got a nice shape of this tree without touching the crown at all. It's very important to hire a professional with insurance, licensing, and most important, I mean, you could have all the trucks in the world and everything in the world to do the job. If you don't have the education to do it right, it's not going to be done right.
This is absolutely the opposite of what it is that you want to accomplish with a tree. That's total defoliation. Usually it's a term that they call hat racking. You got to think of the leaves as solar panels. That's what creates the energy which enables the tree to grow. When you take away those solar panels, which creates the energy, the tree has a hard time surviving. And on top of that, trees are used to having wind run through them and making them stress themselves a little bit, so it makes their roots a little bit stronger, makes themselves more structurally sound. Right there, what you've done essentially is you've disabled the tree's ability to promote growth and vigor.
Educating and assisting those who live and work in Port St. Lucie is the mission of the Planning and Zoning Department. We encourage everyone to take part and help maintain our quality of life by protecting our urban forest. For more information about this ordinance and enriching your community through planting, protection, and promotion of trees, please contact the Planning and Zoning Department at 871-5213.